Welcome everybody to the Kujacker's Power Hour, the only podcast that has a horrible title because... I really don't have any good reason why it has a horrible title. But welcome anyways. I am your host, Kujacker, and here today I brought alongside me a pair of co-hosts that were very nice in coming to my aid, because honestly a hour to hour and a half podcast where I just stumble across my words would be a little bit boring. So yeah, they decided to help me. First and foremost on order of Skype here, Skype, what am I thinking? Discord here, we have Sonic.
Shit. Hello guys, you probably don't know me, but my name is Sonic. Occasional coffee drinker, YouTuber extraordinaire, and depressed as all hell at some points. So yeah.
Hooray! And on the other side of the call, we have Oni.
Hello, I'm Oni. I'm an avid coffee drinker. I pissed off a lot of the Yakuza fandom by calling Majima a villain. I make YouTube videos and stream occasionally. I gotta get back on that shit, but hello.
Yeah, and as I've said before, I am your host, Hazard Kujacker, the guy that runs the channel this podcast is hosted on. I also make YouTube videos, although I do it on a monthly basis. And yes, the Yakuza 6 video is coming. I'm finishing the script. I'm sorry. Anyways, first of all, let's start this little podcast with what the hosts have been up to this. Well, it would be every single month because this podcast is gonna be monthly as well. But let's say for now just what you guys have been up to in the past, I don't know, month, year, whatever time frame you wanna say. So let's start with Sonic.
I guess I've been up to a little bit. I don't know. Like I've been up. I moved out of. Yesterday I moved out of my dorm and I'm back home for the summer. I still have to finish up some assignments and get a job. So I guess that's what I've been up to.
That sounds.
What about in the world of video games?
I mean, nicer than my wig. Nicer than my wig.
I played. I tried the beta for Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, and the beta, and it's Arx's worst fighter hands down, because it's just like it has a horrible roster. The gameplay's not fun because it's just like very, very, very casual heavy, like the most casual heavy I've ever seen in a fighting game since Fantasy Strike, which was like an indie game. So it's just been and I guess I've been playing Rayman Legends, so there's that.
I did try a little bit of cross-tag battle myself before the podcast, like a couple of minutes. Yeah, the roster's trash, but what are you gonna do when you have four anime fighting games that only one of them is any good, and I'm talking about Uniel, because I'm not a fan of P4 Arena. I did like Blast Blue up until Continuum Shift, and then it just went way too crazy for me. And honestly, I don't care for Ruby. I never cared for Ruby, and I will never care.
I liked 3 out of the 4 franchises they have in there, but the thing is, those 3 franchises always take a backseat to the Blaze Blue characters. And it's like, yeah, you get 10 on launch, you get 10 Blaze Blue characters, 4 Persona, 4 Under 92 Ruby, and I'm just like, we just got the short end of the stick because the rest of the characters are going to be sold via DLC, and it's just like, like I said on Twitter, it went from my most anticipated game of 2018 to my most disappointed, and that's from playing for like 3 hours. So that's a big record.
Hmm.
You know?
Yeah. So
I think I don't know if it was me. Oh, it was just really laggy for a sec, but it might have been on my end.
I mean, the game is. Mechanically, the game is fine. After you,
really...
well, I've been watching some streams of the game before I actually downloaded it on my PS4, and it does seems to be quite, I wouldn't say quite good, but it's fine. It has nice mechanics. I do like the limited number of attacks you get per let's say per combo, I think. But I don't know, man. I feel that game is missing a lot more, and I'm not just talking about the $20 of DLC that it's gonna come on day one, really. Alrighty.
What was I saying? Fuck. What was I saying? It's not that the problem is that the 20 characters are. It's just that so far from like what I've seen from the roster they keep putting out, it's just been, the roster's not good, and the mechanics are way, like I said, way too casualized, because I don't want, like, instead of like actual combos, you have two attack buttons, and it's just like you're given, and the only combos are smart combos, right?
Yeah.
It's just basically auto combos, and like people made fun of Persona 4 Arena for having auto combos, but at least you can be experimental with it and other arc system fighters. But in Blaze Blue, it's just you either have this combo or this combo, or maybe a different combo with adding like an assist or whatever. Or another thing is that the damage for attacks are scaled way too up, because matches can either last for like a minute or like 30 to 20 seconds in most cases, which really angered me.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say sadly, but this cross-tag battle is probably a good sign of where at least Arxis games are gonna go forward, because Daisuke Ishiwatari said on an interview that the next Guilty Gear is gonna scale it down on the mechanic end as well. And yeah, I can see them either adding auto combos or simplifying some of the dial-up combos and other systems they had before, which I guess is fine for people that want to get into fighting games, because you know, Arxis games are a little bit of a fucking wall sometimes, but. There has to be a balance. There has to be a middle point between just regular ass normal gameplay and fucking super complicated mechanics.
That's my issue with just modern fighting games in general. They're thinking like, oh, we need to casualize the game so we can create certainty and income and uncertainty in outcome. That's what I'm trying to say. Uncertainty in outcome, so we can just like have more make esports interesting or make competition more interesting. Which is, just like, no, it should be. In my opinion, it's honestly whoever is the better at the game, wins. Whoever the better at the game wins, and you don't need to. Like, I'm fine with Street Fighter V maybe like being more lenient on combo inputs. But there's things like there's things like casualizing Guilty Gear. Like, I'm fine with the stylish mode because there's always technical, but I'm worried that the next Guilty Gear is gonna be even more casualized, like Blaze Blue was. Because at the same time, even Dragon Ball FighterZ had a really dumb auto combo system that made people complain, oh, the game's too easy. And when you can do some fun stuff in Dragon Ball FighterZ, but it's also been, but it's just being like, is this this the direction Arc Sys is gonna be going forward. Is this what is the way they got their fan base was by making fun fighting games that took skill and effort to master, especially SNK. Even SNK fighters and some Capcom fighters did this in the past. But if you're gonna just think that that the casual audience is gonna buy your game because it's easier, and you're just gonna piss off your main audience, and they're gonna be jumping ship, the people who bring in your money. So it's just like I don't get why they need to casualize these games so much. Because like the people, like if they see the game, they think it's gonna be fine, they'll try it. If they want to get back at the game, they'll put more hours into it and stuff like that. Maybe get the DLC. But if you're just gonna I'm sick of just learning a game I'm just sick of learning a game in an hour and being able to kick people's asses at the game, because that's dumb.
Yeah, I can see your point. But we'll see. But I'm just of the idea that there has to be a middle point. I do not want fighting games to become pretty much dive kick, which don't get me wrong, dive kick is fun, dive kick is fine, but I want more than 2 bottoms on my fucking game. Come on. And but I also don't want to go back to the days of King of Fighters 2K2 where you pretty much started a combo normal, then charge, then cancel, keep super kick into Hokyaku, and then a million possibilities.
That stuff's fun though at times. That's the fun of King of Fighters, is how deep and complex it is.
Yeah, but at some point King of Fighters did get a little bit too out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on from this discussion, we have also Oni. What have you been up to these days?
Hello. So a lot of my gaming time recently has gone into predominantly 2 games. One is the Final Fantasy XIV, the Final Fantasy MMO. I've unfortunately got back into it. So that's been fun. It's been very, very time consuming because I'm now kind of catching myself back up to Stormblood Endgame. As well as kind of leveling a lot of different things, leveling up some extra classes, doing crafts and whatnot. So lots of work, but very, very rewarding. Also, for anyone on a crowded server, they'll understand this. Like any kind of MMO that has housing, after about 4 years of playing the game, I finally scored myself a house, which is really nice.
Who did you fucking kill?
No. A medium house.
Who did you fucking kill?
Interesting.
I murdered.
Dude.
I was incredibly lucky. I was just on because they've put these regulations now where you don't go on for about 30. If you don't step into your house, I think for about 45 days you lose it. You do get like warning messages and stuff. And I got lucky that I managed to just find a small house somewhere in the housing area where my guild, my free company, had a house. And the next week I log on and my guild leader is spamming me with messages like, come now, medium house, go, don't think about it, just run. Mm-hmm. And literally as I scored the house, there was someone running up behind me, maybe literally like 10 seconds behind me. So it's very tense, I scored a house, which has been really fun. So I've sort of been taking pride in decorating that.
I get it because I was there when Shirogane opened, aka the Great Shirogane Blood Wars. Fucking, that was fucking housing savage.
They really honestly could have fixed the problem, because people complain for so long there's not enough housing, and they added in these apartments to try and compensate, like sort of small housing for players, and they're all obviously like stacked on top of each other and stuff. And it would be fine if they weren't just free company rooms in a standalone building. Like if they'd made them a little bit bigger or a little bit more interesting, I think it kind of would have solved that like crazy demand. But it's not the same as kind of having your own little place with a garden and you can plant things, and there's a lot more you can do with a house than an apartment. It's still absolutely packed. Like, I'm on the Odin EU server and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, also all the crafting that you can only do on houses and the airships, like...
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. So that's been really fun. I'm lagging behind a little bit. I've got a few more Stormblood story quests to finish. My White Mage, which is my main, is at 70, has been for a while. I'm trying to pull a Paladin and a Bard up there as well, so I have like the range of stuff to do at endgame. But yeah, other than that, lots and lots of crafting. I mean, it's an MMO, right? Every time someone gets back into an MMO, it's just a huge time sink. But as always, it's been really fun. So I've been really enjoying that. And the other thing that has consumed a lot of my recent gaming time is Breath of the Wild on Switch, which I honestly didn't expect to get into as much as I did. Like, I feel like this is something I never want to like truly admit, like in the gaming community. But like, I'm not that big of a Zelda fan. Like, I like the games, don't get me wrong, but I'm just not one of these. Ocarina of Time is the best video game in the world. Like,
I can't believe you said
they've
this.
never.
I can't believe you've said this.
I'm out. Just boot me out of the call right now. No, but like, I've always enjoyed them, but they've just not kind of really ever been that like especially thrilling to me. They've just been like good quality games. Like, Zelda is good. It's pretty much how I feel about the franchise. And it did take me a while to click with Breath of the Wild. I picked it up a couple of times and I just couldn't really get into it from the intro section, but the second they kind of like nudge you off the little like the plateau and kick you into the entire world, like that was it. Like hours like sunk into the game. I've had so much fun. I'm probably what I would call for me about halfway through the game, where I've done 2 of like the big dungeony things, I guess we'll call them. I have about 50 shrines done.
That's nice.
I've got the Master Sword. Like, so I'm at a place where I could pretty much do the last 2 dungeons and end it now, but there's a lot more gear sets I want to get and upgrade and things I want to have fun with. So, because I'm really, really enjoying side questing in it as well. I feel like side questing is something in previous Zelda games I've kind of mostly ignored unless I specifically want like a type of reward it gives. I haven't kind of done the side quests for fun much. Like, I'll do them for a heart container, but not for like rupees. Do you know what I mean? Whereas like Breath of the Wild's actually made them really, really fun, and it's super exciting to just like find a new area and then find a bunch of NPCs like at a stables or something that just like fill your side quests back up. So I've been sinking a lot of time into that. That is an absolutely fantastic game. I can see why that won so many awards last year for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, lot of MMOing, lot of switching. I think probably the only other thing of recent times, it's not strictly a gaming thing, but I watched Sword of the Stranger the other day for the first time. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's a really, really good animated film. It's it's about like a nameless samurai and a little boy, and they kind of meet under not so fortunate circumstances, and they go on a little adventure. For lack of wanting to spoil anything, but it's like right up my alley of what I like. It's like quite gnarly action mixed with like a nice little wholesome story. So I really enjoyed that. But that's pretty much been my week or month at the moment.
That sounds pretty nice. As for myself, I haven't done that much gaming in the last month because I've been in this little I would almost say vacation period. I went on a trip like a couple of weeks ago, and I visited a bunch of nice places and restaurants, especially a Japanese themed restaurant that had a Japanese cook, and that was a nice experience because
the surprise in your voice.
There was another one that got recommended me by a friend that did not have a Japanese cook, and I'm like, nah, let's go with the guy that's Japanese. Maybe he has a better touch for the flavor. I tried some ramen, which was fucking fantastic. The noodles were on point. The soup was fucking tasty. The meat was just, oh my god. And then got myself some curry, and that made me cry like a bitch because I'm a little emotional.
Spicy
No,
one.
it wasn't spicy. It was just a moment like, oh my god, this is so delicious.
You should have just told people it was spicy.
Nah, the people I was with knew exactly why was I crying. That was a little wholesome moment. I also from other things from my trip. I tried a little bit of Korean ice cream, which pretty different from regular ice cream as I discovered. It's like they add a bunch of crazy bullshit to the mix, like almonds and other types of sugary flavors. But the most striking thing about it was that the ice cream, the texture of the ice cream wasn't just like your regular ice cream, but actually felt like snowflakes, and that was interesting. Yeah. What else? I did go to a little. Almost in the last days of my trip, I went to a little convention, a small town level video game convention, and I was there on a Nintendo Switch stand, which was nice. I got to play some Puyo Puyo Tetris, which I love.
I love Puyo
Yeah,
Fever. I really like that game. I haven't touched the Tetris one.
Tetris is on PC, I'm pretty sure. And PS4 and Switch.
But I think
Not Xbox One, though.
it's only physical, a physical release, which is a little bit sad for me because I can't seem to find any local copies
physical
of it.
release
I
is
guess I
sad?
will have
Or
to
what?
order it from Amazon or something. But yeah, Puyo Puyo is still Puyo Puyo as fuck, and I love it. I've been playing since the days of Meme Bin Machine, and I'm a fan of that particular type of puzzle game alongside with Puzzle Fighter. I got to try ARMS, which 7 out of 10, I guess. It has asses. But I think the most important thing I've experienced during that convention was that I bought an official SNK T-shirt that has the logo and the SNK slogan, which unfortunately I left at the house of a friend, and I would have to and I need to ask for them to ship it back to home, which is gonna cost me more than the fucking shirt, but I love it, so I'm ready to do the sacrifice. And I also did some commentary on a fighting game tournament, specifically Street Fighter V. It was not anything like evil level stuff, but that was pretty hype, and it surprised me that my commentary actually popped off the crowd, which was a nice feeling. Also, my voice got shut up. Like, immediately after I finished the commentary, I was just like, I need help. Ah.
Right.
I also got to play some Cruising Blast on the trip, the Raw Thrills new cruising game. That game is nice. It captures the spirit of what Cruising USA, Cruising World, and Cruising Exotica was, but giving it some little nice twist and modernizing the graphics. It is a nice arcade machine. I loved it, and I scored first place on it. So, yeah.
Congratulations.
Not bad for my first game. I also got to try a Taiko Drum Master Machine with a friend, and that was another nice experience. I love rhythm games.
I've always wanted to go on one of them.
Yeah, that machine was nice. It has some.
Taiko Drum Master is really fun.
It had a nice selection of songs, and I got to play No Way Back from God Eater, and that was a nice experience because alongside the drumming I was singing I won't move on and I will not dare into, and all hyped up. And finally, from that trip, I actually played some Pump It Up. So for those who don't know, Pump It Up is the Korean answer to Dance Dance Revolution, which instead of having the classic up, down, left, right for step bottoms, you have 4 diagonals and the center. And I played quite a bit of Pump It Up in my youth. so much that I have learned a couple of songs from it that are staples are staples for the franchise nowadays, like Beethoven Virus. I played just one song, and by the end of it, I was just like, kill me, everything hurts, my chest burns. Clearly, the days of my youth are way behind me. Too sad. But yeah, for video games, I did play some. I played some Under Night in Birth EXE late. I did. It was my first time playing it at the house of another friend, and it's a nice fighting game. I find my way into actually dealing some nice damage and doing some nice combos. That game is fun. That game is way too fun, and I would like to try it some other time. Other than that, I did play some Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories on the PlayStation. That game remains fun. And as I've said before, I'm gonna cover it in a future my thoughts on video. That is gonna be a nice nostalgic trip for me. And finally, and this is a video game that I don't think neither of my co-hosts are going to relate to, I played some SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 General Manager mode. I always loved the general manager mode in the THQ era of SmackDown vs. Raw games, and it's a shame that it never came back for the 2K iterations. It remains fun, and I like the act of booking wrestlers and all that stuff without having to go through that much fluff like in other wrestling simulators like TEW or Extreme Warfare Revenge, which are nice in their own right, but they are a little bit too much for me. But yeah, nowadays, mostly these past 2 weeks, I've been pretty much in between jobs because my last workplace it's pretty much closing down now, and I'm in that weird period where I'm looking for another job and all that jazz, fun, and oh fuck.
Yeah.
And I've been finishing up the Yakuza 6, my thoughts on script. It's gonna end up way longer than the fucking last one, and I hate myself for it, but at the same time I want to talk about everything on that game. Right now it's about...
If you need some help on it, I'm willing to give my thoughts. But
to be perfectly honest, I'm about to finish it, but it's gonna range on to... It's ranging on to be about 20 to 22 pages, which is longer than the last video. So, boy, oh fuck me. But yeah, that's probably gonna come up at the end of the month, hopefully. And yeah, that's also gonna probably delay the next video. I'm sorry, I'm just readjusting myself to life right now.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I've been equally terrible with YouTube. I have like so many half-done scripts. I just need to like sit down in a day and just finish them, just get them out the way and get them done.
Yeah. So.
But I don't know about you, but I always go back and like micro edit everything. Like there's always something that I think I could do better. It just takes me ages to finish anything.
Yeah, I feel you. But yeah, that's pretty much been it for me. One last highlight of my trip. Part of the haul, I got to bring myself back, back to my home was a little nice eye mask to cover my eyes while I sleep. It has a cute design, and it improved my sleeping for about, I would say, 50%. So 10 out of 10 best thing I've bought on my trip. I also bought a nice cap, and probably my most prized possession right now outside of my PlayStation 4, my D&D 5th edition player's handbook, which is hardcover and nice, and I love it. But yeah, that's pretty much been it for me, at least for what I've been up to. So, with introductions out of the way, let's move on to the news section, shall we? And welcome back, everybody, to the news section where we talk about some relevant news about cross-media from video games and movies and all of that crazy stuff that we like. And so I did bring with myself a little bit of news from the past month, and one that it's not exactly from the past month, but I did wanted to talk about anyways because it's fun. So why don't we say we start with the first one here, which is the 10 minutes of gameplay footage that we got for the SMT mobile game The Cross 2 Shin Megami Tensei. Have you guys watched it yet?
Yeah, I've watched it.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, Oh yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh. Well, from what we saw on the gameplay footage, is the first 10 minutes of the mobile game, and I must say I didn't give it that much credit at the beginning because I was like, mobile game, who cares? And then I saw the battle system, and in particular the fact that it's the Nocturne battle system with the press turns. And I immediately fell in love because I'm a huge mark for press turn systems. I love it.
I mean, it's like I'm excited for. I'm happy that Atlas is expanding into the mobile market, even in the U.S. And Sega's helping him out with that, and that's fun. And that's fine and dandy, and especially when it's since the competition kind of came up from Nintendo with Pokemon, with them getting into the mobile market, so they just Sega decided, let's go ahead and do that. And the fact that they're releasing it internationally surprises me, which is what I'm just happy about that though. It should be a nice thing for nice people. That's basically what I'm trying to think of.
Yeah, I think it looks good. It looks like a Shin Megami Tensei game. For sure, that works on mobile phones. I was saying to Sonic Kick earlier, I would have maybe liked to see the trailer give away a little bit more than just the kind of character create / first battle tutorial kind of thing. I would have liked to maybe see a few snippets from other bits of the game, just to get a general feel for how, is there any gameplay outside of battles? How is it going to play out? Is it literally just going to be
I think it's dungeon crawling akin to something like Soul Hackers.
It would have been nice to kind of see a little bit more of that from the trailer, but otherwise I'll be trying to pick it up on my my archaic mobile phone. We'll see what we can do, but it doesn't look interesting to me. I'm always excited to see a Shin Megami Tensei game come out, just get a release at all. Because I know in the West compared to Japan, we've missed quite a few of them. So it's exciting.
I mean, no, Europe in comparison to America, y'all missed a lot. Y'all didn't even get Raito too.
But to be fair, they got the best version of Nocturne, Lucifer's Call.
With Dante from the Devil
Featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series, yeah. But no, honestly, I love the title for the European version of Nocturne because fucking what's rather than Lucifer's Call?
It's pretty silly.
Yeah. But yeah, about the Cross 2 Shin Megami Tensei, I'm excited about it. I do want to see a little bit more of gameplay, like my co-host said. Maybe see how you gather demons and all of the other jazz. But I have high hopes for it. All right then. I guess that's all we have to say about that. Unless you want to add anything.
Nice thing for nice
that's
people.
Good to me. I'll wait till a bit more information comes out, I think, before I make further comments, but so far it seems promising.
Yeah. All right. Moving on in an entirely different direction, we have what I call the Billy Mitchell debacle wrap up. So.
Oh, Billy Mitchell.
Yeah.
I heard all his shit was faked, right? I see.
So for those who hadn't caught up with this news yet, which I don't know, could be some of you. Billy Mitchell is that guy that appears in the King of Kong documentary as the guy who has the record for being the first guy to reach 1 million points in original Donkey Kong. And he pretty much is portrayed as the villain of that documentary. I think it was a couple of months back, there was an investigation about these records because it appears that there was some doctoring involving the footage from these records, and it turns out that pretty much Billy Mitchell used a MAME machine to I would say fake footage for his records, and there was a whole debacle about Billy Mitchell going, no, I didn't do it, and I will send definitive proof, which he never sent. So finally, Twin Galaxies pretty much said, fuck this shit, and decided to invalidate his high scores, and he was banned from competition for setting up records in Donkey Kong. I have the quote from Twin Galaxies here that says, with this ruling, Twin Galaxies can no longer recognize Billy Mitchell as the first million-point Donkey Kong record holder. According to our findings, Steve Wibe would be the official first million-point record holder, which is the guy that appears as the hero in The King of Kong. Which, congratulations to that guy, he's really redeemed him.
Yeah, it only took like what, 30 years? 40 years?
Yeah.
It took them a while.
I know.
Yeah, no, didn't he? He recorded them off it wasn't the official arcade machine, and then on top of I think he tried to argue that the scores were still legit, and then they found out they were fiddling with they'd done some kind of edit or something.
But this is a thing oh, sorry, go on.
No, I think what I heard, if I remember correctly, is he was moving between areas that wouldn't connect properly or something like that just gave away they were jigging the footage or there was some kind of emulation hacks going on in the machine that was allowing him to get the score easier. So sucks to be him. Yes.
No, the thing
to get caught after all that time.
I started thinking about this, but there's cheating in speedruns is something I know they're trying to really crack down on, because what was it? They're how they have the speedrunning site speedruns.com. I think there were some guy was doing some investigation on it and seeing how far you can go to try to try to fake your speed run and see if they count it as official. And there's I think there was after a few tries he was able to do so, and it just goes to question which speed runs are real and which ones are fake in general,
Yeah, it seems to be quite a big thing on the internet recently. If you're involved at all in the gaming side of YouTube, I'm sure you've had them pop up in your recommended. There's actually quite a few videos of this speedrunner exposed for cheating or fake time or fake score or something. They're out there. There's quite an influx of them. I think sort of around the time this was happening, there's been a lot of people who have been outed for fiddling with stuff on emulators and cheating their way to high scores.
No, which one? I remember that. If y'all know who I would really prefer you be quiet. The guy on that video, the one I would really prefer if you be quiet. Chibi, that speedrunner. Yeah, he's banned because he tried to he tried to cheat in a Paper Mario speed run, and he got almost immediately caught, which is kind of hilarious.
Good to see that they are cracking down on that stuff. That seems like a legitimate problem for the speedrunning community, and good thing for fucking Billy Mitchell to get his finally. The son of a bitch. Like,
I mean, I don't know personally Billy Mitchell, but it's kind of, I just know him from like, I actually never seen King of Kong, like the documentary, and I just know him from like word of mouth. Like, example, I think like AVGM drank his hot. I'm pretty sure he had a hot sauce which AVGM drank as a joke once, but like, it's sad to see that they're that these people can't just legitimately do like accomplish something on their own. They'll just cheat to the top, and no one's not gonna say anything until until now.
Most importantly, deluding himself that he was right all the time and claiming that he has proof that he didn't doctor the scores, when there was definite fucking proof that he was pretty much doctoring. Like, at that point, when you start to be so fucking delusional about that stuff, you deserve what you get.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But yeah, all hail the new King of Kong, not Billy Mitchell. Fuck off. Alrighty, so give me a second here. I think I'm going to sneeze. Sorry about that. So, moving to happier news, or at least happier in the sense that everyone can be happy about this news and not... we have that Monster Hunter Double Cross is finally coming to the West after all.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's an exciting piece of news. I thought we were going to be pretty done over here for a while after Worlds. But I guess the World sales have kind of prompted them to bring double crossover. So that is exciting. I love Monster Hunter. I'm always excited for more Monster Hunter.
It's trying to surprise the heck out of me because I was like, wait, because I thought that I thought we'd never get a double cross because they localized Generation and they're like we had nothing on double cross and all of a sudden World. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll be fine without getting Generations, I guess. And then I'm like, oh, double cross. But the thing is, I don't think probably this is like Switch owners is probably not the happiest to not get World, but at the same time, they're probably they're happy that at least got they're getting Generations and stuff. So I played Monster Hunter Generations as my first Monster Hunter, which was it wasn't the best idea, but it was fine from what I enjoyed. But I think if I play Double Cross, I'll probably try to get into it more because I liked it, but it was I kind of just went through the motions and didn't figure out how to play Monster Hunter. So
yeah.
They
can be quite
especially
difficult to get into. I think World's doing
especially
a bit of a better job at making them accessible than
Classic Monster Hunter is way... I've said it on my Twitter, but Classic Monster Hunter is venom for the more casual players because that franchise was hardcore for a while, and Monster Hunter and Double Cross, or now Generations Ultimate, is the culmination of years of a hardcore fan base and a hardcore game polished up to the greatest standard. But at least they're getting it. Like I was of the idea that game was never gonna come up, especially since they wanted to build a new audience with World. But I guess there is a place for Classic Monster Hunter, especially for the fans that. Well, I haven't seen this type of fan yet, but the fans that maybe wanted to play a little bit more of Classic Monster Hunter. For the people that wanted World on the Switch, I only have to say that game runs on Unreal. Unreal and Switch are pretty much
I mean, they work. They do.
No,
wait,
Rock-
I don't think it runs on Unreal actually.
Mm.
It runs on Havoc, I think.
No, I thought it ran on Unreal. I thought it
Simply
ran on
Gone,
Unreal,
something.
but
I don't think it ran on
yeah,
Unreal, but I
unless you are Psyonix, you can't make that console run Unreal without tons of problems, from what I've heard from devs and stuff. But
It
Let's
does
see,
say Havoc on the back of the box.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Havoc because
But,
Unreal 4 can run on Switch, but not Unreal 3. I mean, actually no. Yeah. Not Unreal Engine 3 is harder to get on Switch apparently, even if it's a different engine, lesser engine or what you call it,
But
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
I just think I was just gonna say, I just think it's exciting to see that they haven't really given up on that classic Monster Hunter in the West, because I know Worlds was kind of this big, like, a little bit of like an all or nothing for Capcom, as if like if this doesn't sell well, we might kind of be done with Monster Hunter a little bit in the West for now, because it's just not getting the sales they wanted it to. So I'm guessing like after the sales, obviously they've gone like, oh, we'll just go like translate the stuff we kind of cancelled. But I don't know how many people. I mean, I hope there'll be a lot. I hope there'll be people that have played Worlds, and that's been their entry into the series, and then they're more interested in going back and playing something that is a little bit more like the classic formula. And I hope that will go smoothly if that's the case. I hope there's not going to be this like kind of backlash at it being a visually more of a downgrade and mechanically a bit tougher. Like I hope that kind of is not going to affect too many people's impressions of it. But I know like for me and my boyfriend, like getting a Switch, part of the appeal to it was like, oh, they'll surely bring out the Monster Hunters on it, and we picked it up, and then they kind of did the Double Cross is kind of going to stay as a TBA. We don't know what's happening. So that kind of was a little bit like upsetting to us, because that was one of the main series that pushed us to get a Switch, because we're not like huge Nintendo people, but we are very big fans of the Monster Hunter franchise. So that's, I guess, a bit of a relief for both of us. And I will be
time to hunt more monsters, and especially some of the ones that didn't make it to World, like Gormagala.
Oh yeah, I was pissed when Gormagala wasn't gonna be in. I heard Gormagala wasn't gonna be in World.
I mean,
but at least we got the flagship monster from 2. What's his face?
I think it was. I think Diablos was the flagship for 2, or was it?
No, it wasn't Diablo. It was us. It was he was in World. What was it? Fucking I can't remember his name.
Alright, give me a description of it.
Wendy dude.
Kushaladora? Yes.
Coach Kushaladora.
Oh yeah. Also, Kushaladora. Yeah, no. I'm excited. I don't think I'm gonna get a Switch anytime soon, unless they suddenly one day announce that Shigeru Miyamoto died of a heart attack, and therefore F-Zero is gonna have a new entry. Then I'm gonna buy it just fucking immediately.
It all depends on how. It all depends on my income, because I might get one this summer.
Yeah. Also, a little bit on the subject of World, I do hope that the next couple of DLC they bring a couple of the classic monsters from DLCs in the form of DLC.
Yeah, that'd be nice to see. I feel like I'm the only person in the entire world that lives out hope that one day they will bring like some kind of, even if it's paid DLC, which I know actually Monster Hunter is not like, they're not very big into their paid DLC when it comes to like costumes and stuff. Yeah, fine, but not like what do you call it, not like quests and fights and stuff. But I'm like one of the only few people, because I grew up, I came from Monster Hunter 3, like I really miss the swimming mechanic, and I feel like I'm the only person, and there's this little bit of me in the back of my head that is like,
you are the only person.
One day give me swim map. Just one map, Just like one quest every 3 months.
Nope.
So it's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen because a lot of people complain about it. Ever. It's so good. It actually works in Monster Hunter 3. I will stand by that statement as someone who absolutely hates water levels 99% of the time. That is one of the examples of where I really thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was a very interesting like fighting mechanic. It will never happen, but if there was one thing I could like hope to see in like World's graphics, it would be some of that shit, because some of the environments seem so good for it.
Honestly, if for Dreams, for I don't know, Dreams for DLC for Monster Hunter World, I would say I think we are overdue for another colossal style monster hunt. I don't know, maybe Darren Moran or something. Like, don't get me wrong, what was the name of the giant monster in World? The fucking mountain thing, what was it called? Fuck! I forgot. Whatever, the thing that you fight at the very middle of the game. That was a nice fight, but I feel like we could get another of those, you know, colossal monster fights.
I miss my beast types as well, like the Lagombis, the Kongalalas, the kind of, you know, like stands on two legs, like beast type. I miss them from previous entries. I'd really like to see some of them come in as DLC.
Yeah.
Even if they're brand new ones. I just like to see that type of monster back.
Also,
really
if that supposed DLC list that leaked way back for Monster Hunter World is true, I can't wait for more hot Rajang dick. Give it to me. Give it to me. All right. So. I think that's a good point to move on to the next piece of news, which is a piece of news pretty much just for me, honestly.
I've got quite a lot I can say about this. But I feel like it's still gonna be just for you.
We got the announcement that Aragami is gonna get a special edition named Aragami Shadow Edition. That it's gonna be for PS4, Xbox One, and PC. For those who probably everyone here. For those who don't know, Aragami is a stealth game, sort of in the vein of Tenchu games, which I am a really big fan of, and I don't think it did that well upon its initial release. I did want to pick it up when it launched, but other stuff at the time prevented me from picking it up. But thankfully we are gonna get the Shadow Edition, which is going to include the original base game, the upcoming expansion Aragami Nightfall, and all the downloadable content for the game. The game supports two-player online co-op, and it's cross-platform between each separate console and PC. It will launch alongside the Nightfall expansion in the next few months for the honestly quite nice price of $24.99 or $25, which I like. It's a nice price point for this game. It's honestly I would recommend if you want to try this game, I would recommend nowadays that you wait for the Shadow Edition just to get all the DLC. I'm gonna do that myself. I love it. But yeah, that's in on Hazard's fanboying corner.
I gotta pry it out, you know, just for the sake of discussion, because I'm someone who also had their eyes on Aragami when it was coming out, and I also couldn't buy it on release, and I actually ended up spending money on the collector's edition for it. So I have the Aragami collector's edition, and I hated it. I absolutely despised it. So I don't know if you bought it on PS4 or PC, and I don't know what I'm just curious to know what you liked about it.
I'm gonna be
because for me, I felt that
I'm gonna be honest.
game
I haven't played it, but from the trailer, it reminded me of all that Tenchu, which again I think we are fucking overdue for another stealth game of that type. And if FromSoft is not gonna give it to me, then fuck it, I'll take the closest thing. Shadows Dice twice, motherfuckers.
So. I don't want to just for the sake of a kind of honesty. It's not just like, because normally when I don't like a game, I'm still all for going. But if you like this genre, if you like this type of game, you know, etc., it might be for you. But Origami for me, I bought the PS4 version, and I did do some research after this, and a lot of people recommended the PC version, the Steam version, over the PS4 one. So that is definitely something to take into account. For some of these problems, and they have said, I did skim the article, they have said with this Shadow Edition patch, all versions of the game will receive a performance update around the time of release. So hopefully, slightly overdue, but hopefully this will fix some of the issues. But one of the genuinely biggest issues for me is this. It's a game that it very much feels like a kind of indie game, like it doesn't have a very big dev team, and that's fine, but it did have issues like it couldn't even keep 30 FPS sometimes, and I'm talking not dropping to 29 frames. I'm talking like there were bits at end of cutscenes or during gameplay where it would drop to about 5 frames a second. Like it was really, really bad. And the camera combined with it for me felt quite janky. So you imagine trying to move a camera that's not great around an environment and then having your frame rate drop in a very stealth-based game is not exactly very advantageous to the gameplay. And then the other main issue I had with it was there doesn't really feel like a big difference between they kind of give you this idea that you're gonna be the other problem I had with it is that it had this very kind of like stealth kind of merciful route versus like stealth kill all the things route. And the biggest disappointment for me was kind of like dabbling around testing the two, and the animations are pretty much exactly the fucking same. They're not that great, they're really stiff, it's like an indie dev team, it's not, you know, this beautiful fluid animation. But if you kill a guy and knock a guy out, it pretty much looks like you're doing the same thing, so the only reward you have is the game kind of telling you that you're being good. It's not very, there wasn't much exciting or appealing to me about it. Enemies were very cut-paced. The environments were quite nice to look at. Like visually, it's a very interesting art style. I do like the art style. I do like what they were going for. But they do have these kind of environments where kind of upon a glance at the map, you can already see the route through. There's not much else to them. They don't really feel worth exploring or kind of testing out different ways of like navigating them. Or not as much as you would like. Some of them are slightly bigger. But for me, the games are just a little bit of a letdown, really. I was just at least hoping for something that would run a little bit smoother and just kind of feel a little bit more like if you're going to do the moral thing in your game of good or bad, I want the game to kind of feel like it's built for that and not just built to go through it one way and then every time pick an option like kill or knock out, because it doesn't make it exciting or interesting to me. As an experience, I feel like the only difference is going to be the cutscene I get at the end of the game, which kind of just makes me not really care. So I didn't come away with the best impression of Origami, but I have been told that the PC version is better on the performance issues than the PS4 version, and there is apparently an optimization patch coming. So hopefully, hopefully that will fix my major issues with the game. But yeah, just for me personally, they didn't run well. They weren't kind of quite as fun as they were advertised to be, and so they kind of left a bit of a sour taste in my mouth. So I hope with the kind of new expansion and the new edition, they kind of address some of those issues, and maybe, who knows, I'll go back to it and see if anything's changed and see if I can give the game a second go.
Yeah, from what you described to me, it sounds like, yeah, that I think that it was a good thing that I didn't get the game on release, but yeah, hopefully it at least meets my expectations, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, quite surprising to me, like a lot of the internet reviews about it seemed quite positive. So I was like, maybe I'm the only person who it's lagging for. Maybe, you know, but no, I think it does definitely have some performance issues. It didn't seem to affect the general opinion, but then if the game didn't do that well, I wonder whether or not that only people who kind of really enjoyed it ever bothered leaving reviews. You never know. I hope that this new version is an improvement because, like I said, like the art style's gorgeous and the kind of game it is, like it is a fun concept. It is something that we don't see as often anymore, and I would like it to work and I would like it to be successful. But I think that's very much dependent on what they fix in this optimization patch and what they do with the new content that's coming.
Hopefully it's good. Hopefully.
I hope so too.
I just want stealth games to come back, please. Alright, moving on to our next topic. Something that has been cropping up a little bit more recently in what I call indie games, the fighting game. We have the very first extended trailer of Blade Strangers, an indie fighting game, with a very anime art style developed by Nicalis. But while that sounds just like, you know, your standard affair, you know, anime fighting game with titties, I like whatever. The thing that pretty much has been, I guess, cropping up more and more about this game is the fact that several characters from popular indie game hits such as Shovel Knight, The Binding of Isaac, Cave Story, and Shovel Knight are showing up in this game. Oh, sorry, and Azure Striker Gunvolt are showing up in this game, which I'm all down for. Especially in the Shovel Knight and Gunvolt part, because those are two games that I enjoyed quite a bit.
I'm not huge on fighting games. I'm sure it's very obvious to everyone listening from how quiet I was at the beginning with Sonic X discussion. But I've seen the trailers and it honestly does look really quite fun. And if it's an indie game and, you know, is most likely going to have a lower price, it might be something that I pick up for at least have a look at, because it does look super fun, and it's quite rare as well to see like that many characters from kind of random games like crop up together, because usually fighting games are either by a company who makes fighting games or by a company who stick their you know, their own characters in there. You very rarely get like this much of a mix, if you like. So that's always quite fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be keeping an eye on that, I think.
Yeah, I'll
It's pretty good.
I'll probably give it a try. I'm honestly not expecting much from it, but I just hope it has a fun system, and I honestly hope it doesn't befall into the same fate that Yatagarasu Attack on Cataclysm did. Yatagarasu was such a great game, like a third strike style game made by guys who were SNK developers. I was like, yeah, I'm down, and then that game fucking died, and no one bothered to make balance patches for it, and oh boy, that was sad.
No one wanted to make mods for a game Maximilian was in, let's just say that.
Oh, come on! The Maximilian announcer pack was the best of that game.
You mean the worst? I mean,
Also,
it wasn't bad, but it's like, eh. I wanted to get it, but I heard like it was just dead on, like the community was dead on arrival, so I was like, eh. And I think the price honestly killed it, because I'm pretty sure it was like $15, right?
Yeah, around that. And honestly, the roster wasn't that big.
The roster wasn't big, and to get Maximilian, you needed to pay like a $5 extra, and I'm like, nah.
So, Sonic, what's your take on indie games, the fighting game?
Indie games. Oh, that Blade Strangers. I'm like, eh. It looks more like what's that one game I played at PAX? I keep comparing it to I think Fantasy Strike, because it looks very simple, but if it's fun, people like it, then good, you know.
Also, them anime titties.
Yeah.
All the titties. Seriously, you could see the main character from this game and think it was just another Queen's Blade game.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the only thing I'm going to say about this, after all I just said, is I'm probably gonna main Gumbold, because Gumbold needs love, needs fucking love. Alrighty, so unless you have anything else to say about indie games, a fighting game, let's move on to the.
Not really. No.
Onto the biggest piece of news that it's not E3, which is Canadian Walmart pretty much fucking up and releasing the listings for probably some upcoming games.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead.
Rage 2 is the most legit, surprisingly, because Bethesda was like,
Yeah.
they decided it's like, hey, let's just resurrect the Twitter account for some reason, and then like talk about how it's fake, but not really. Oh wait, here's an announcement is coming in a few days. You know.
Yeah, and watching and reading most of this list, it seems completely plausible, because it has some games that have been announced already, or some of that at least are in development. So let's just do a little bit of quick reading on this list. We have Tom Clancy's The Division 2, which was already announced. Don't care.
Yeah.
A new Splinter Cell, which is surprising, because I think the last one we got was Blacklist on the 360.
No, I'm pretty sure there was one on.
Or was
PS4
it Conviction?
I'm pretty sure there was a Splinter Cell recently, because I remember they referenced that Metal Gear died.
No, but there was something about Splinter Cell recently in Ghost Recon Wildlands, but not a standalone Splinter Cell game, I think, since Conviction, unless I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong. Another one
I don't
that's
follow Splinter Cell.
Called Insurgency Sandstorm. I honestly haven't heard about that, so I can't say that much about it. The continuous adventures of Ellen Page and Joel, The Last of Us 2. Honestly didn't care for the first one, and I haven't cared about anything Naughty Dog has done since Uncharted, so hooray, second part, I guess. Just Cause 4,
Expected.
the best fucking sandbox. Fight me. Fuck you, fight me. So WWE 2K19, which expected. Assassin's Creed Origins Ace Helix. I'm guessing this is a DLC or something. Dragon Quest 2.
That's quite an interesting one to pop up.
Is it?
Or at least I haven't heard anything about it.
Maybe a remake, maybe just a port of Builders 2, although I think Builders 2 already had a port. It's interesting to say the least. Far Cry 5, which we already know is out. A game called Destiny Comet.
That's most likely going to be Destiny 2's Taken King style DLC for later this year, I would guess. I would guess that's the big one where they do the all-in edition.
So you say that I should get back into Warframe. Good. Final Fantasy VII Remake, which we already know about, and that's not coming up this year at least. Metroid Prime 4, which we do know about. I think it's coming around 2019. From that, which I'm fine with it. I did want a new Metroid Prime. That's a fun series. NBA 2K19 expected. New Super Smash Bros. Still don't know if it's support of Super Smash Bros. 4 or if it is a new game. Hoping it is a new game.
I'm pretty sure it is a new game, because like they said, the logo Smash it doesn't have a streak on it. It means it's a new game.
Hopefully. Borderlands 3, which hasn't been announced yet, but it's pretty much a very vocal secret that game is being made. So
Yeah, basically.
yep.
Never liked the Borderlands games, so I could never care. Especially since it's random Pittsburgh.
I really enjoyed them. They're really fun if you got people to co-op with.
I mean, it could.
I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't play them on my own for. Like, there's better things to play on your own, but if you've got a couple of mates to go through with, like,
Yeah.
they're really quite fun.
So we have Lego DC Villains, which another Lego game. Hooray!
Sure. I'd rather play that than Borderlands. Oh.
Oh
anyway.
shit, Nergigante.
Yeah.
Beyond Good and Evil 2, which we did already announced, and we did see a new thing about it recently, so I guess that checks out. Rage 2, because someone
Already mentioned before.
because
but yeah.
someone asked for a Rage, and it wasn't me.
I mean, it could be
Pretty
better.
sure. I'm pretty sure Rage. I have it. I have the PC edition, and the only reason I have it is because I walked into a game shop when I was about 19 to buy the Doom 3, like the PC remaster, and they gave it to me free with a copy. Like, they were literally giving the game away. So I can't say I'm too excited for Rage 2, but we'll see what it has to
So
offer.
Tom Clancy's
If
The
it is a
Division
legit
2.
thing.
I guess it was expected. I don't know. Wait. Oh yeah, no, The Division 2 already mentioned it. Grand Theft Auto 5, which best selling game of this generation for sure.
Uh-oh.
Like, not even a fucking contest.
Yeah.
We have that Media
Alright.
Molecule game called Dreams.
Oh yeah, that.
Oh, that's what that is.
Is
I remember-
honestly anybody
the-
else
was it like-
expecting
it-
anything
it
from
was
Dreams other
Project
than
Spark.
it being Media Molecule's last game?
I'm pretty sure it's just Project Spark, from my understanding.
Not really. Not really. I was literally about to say, like, that looks like the most interesting thing on this list because it's the most ambiguous until you said it's Media Molecule's newest project. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
never mind.
and honestly, Media Molecule is probably dying after this. It's sad because
You
I
know who is dying
kind of
after
liked
the-
Little Big Planet, but Forza Horizon 5, which what the fuck, guys? We are just up to 4. Like 4 doesn't even exist yet. What is happening here?
It's probably maybe a partnership deal. I don't know.
Did I somehow
No.
travel through time to like 3 years in the future or something?
Yes.
Maybe it's a screw up on the like a typo.
Probably.
It's supposed to be 4. I don't know.
Gears of War 5, The Return of the Potato Man.
Is it? Isn't
I mean,
is Gears?
Gears
did
is one of
Gears 4
those
kill
holdout
Marcus?
franchises from that brown and brown era of gaming that we just left. brown and red, and the occasional soiled green, which I am fucking glad we left behind, because honestly I can't bear going back to just we are manly men in military shooters, or sci-fi military shooters, or sci-fi horror military shooters.
I mean, the third one had a girl, and that was about
Oh
it.
my god, yeah, no, it was pretty bad. I like the first couple of Gears of Wars. I don't think I ever finished the second one. My disc broke. Just stopped playing after that. They were good. I wasn't like enthralled by them. I didn't need to play everyone in the series. So I quite enjoyed them for what they were. Couldn't give a fuck.
The only thing I enjoyed about Gears of War was the fact that in the first game, some of the dubbed voice actors for the Latin American dub had actors from DVC, and it was funny to hear Piccolo just swearing non-stop.
That's
Yeah,
pretty funny.
so next we have Shantae Half Genie Hero Ultimate Day 1 Edition, which we already knew it was coming. The Shantae series is
that for
nice,
PS4?
although it's never been my cup of tea, 100%. So.
I've never played one.
And finally,
I
America's greatest game shows, Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy!
Yes! It's what I've been waiting for.
We can finally answer the most ancient of questions. Did that word had an N? Or no N?
No N.
No
If
N.
the walls could talk, they say.
Game show fuck-ups are like one of my absolute guiltiest pleasures.
If the walls.
I'm not joking. I've literally sat before for like watched a 3-hour compilation with a friend, just of game show fuck-ups. They're so good. They're so good.
So yeah, that's pretty much the Canadian Walmart leaks. Mostly expected titles and some curious surprises, to say the least. What is Dragon Quest 2? I don't know. It's probably
Maybe a
Builders
remake.
2, but I don't know. Maybe Square Enix could surprise us on E3, which is gonna be the main topic for this episode of the podcast. So, do you have anything else to add to this, or do you suggest we move on?
DMC5. DMC5. Where's DMC5?
No, I'm ready to go. I think a lot of these games are just expected sequels. I'm quite surprised to see Borderlands 3. Quite pleasantly surprised. It's not like a day one grab for me. It's like a wait for a Steam sale, get a 4-pack, play with friends, kind of deal. Yeah, I'm quite intrigued by the Dragon Quest 2. Hopefully it's like something new or like a fun port or whatever, and I'm very, very confused.
Everyone is. Like, I'm a huge fan of post-apocalyptic Mad Max style settings, and I did not like Rage. Like, why? No one literally asked for this. So yeah.
I remember my impression of Rage was very short and sweet. Bear in mind I got this for free, so I wasn't really bothered like either way if I was going to play it or not, but I was like, I'll install it, I'll give it a try. There's like a 5-minute opening cutscene, and then it dumps you somewhere in a buggy, and I might have crashed the buggy and died, and then it put me back in the 5-minute cutscene and wouldn't let me skip it, so I swiftly tapped out of the game. I was like, nah. Like, I heard all, this is years after it came out as well, like, I'd already heard all the shit, and I was like, I swear, if you make me watch this 5-minute cutscene again, I'm done. I'm gonna go play my Doom. So that was about as much of an experience I had with Rage.
7 out of 10. I don't know why they're making a sequel. Also, Gearbox needs to recoup the costs of the failure that was Battleborn. Like, seriously. Otherwise, Borderlands 3 wouldn't
Rage?
exist.
Yeah.
I mean, with Rage,
And with
I feel that maybe...
Yeah. And with that, we are going to move to our main topic. See you there. And welcome back, everybody, to the main topic of the Power Hour, which is the section of this podcast where we talk about some relevant topics for the month, or we just shit talk randomly about stuff. But that is not going to be the case for this first episode of the podcast, because something big is coming in the next couple of weeks, which is the Electronic Entertainment Expo, aka E3. It's coming around the corner, and there is so much stuff to unpack. So for now, because I don't know, I like prediction style things, we are gonna do something that I call hopes and dreams, which basically amounts to what do we expect, maybe some crazy type of prediction of something crazy that's gonna happen on E3. I don't know. So, first of all, what are you guys' feelings of this upcoming E3?
Alright, all I care about, honestly, is just getting Devil May Cry 5. And maybe another game from, maybe something from Sega that's nice. Like Hokuto announcement or whatever. I don't know. I don't have many hopes for E3. I just like watching the shit show that is the press conferences.
Honestly, I hope we have some nice ass disasters.
It is always quite satisfying to see the tech go to shit on stage.
Which one was that one?
Just when they have technical difficulties. It's fucking hilarious.
Like the
It's already bad, but it's funny.
Wait, we're continuing?
Huh?
That shit. I guess you'll see it later. That was at the Microsoft conference.
yeah. Also
The
the
Xbox One.
was that the Assassin's Creed fuck up?
No, that was the Battlefield.
Oh,
Assassin's Creed, I remember. I think Assassin's Creed did happen sometime that's close by.
yeah.
And there's like, you have stuff like Peggle 2, like the guy who, John Valesi, I think, bless his heart. He was trying to get people hyped for Peggle 2 and just jumped in the air. Like, yeah, Peggle 2, but no one really cares.
I mean,
Bless his heart.
to be fair, Peggle 2 is the sport of men.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Oni?
There's not anything especially I'm looking forward to. Pretty much summed up from like the leaked releases. I'm not especially excited about anything. I'm kind of hoping, if for nothing else, just for some new IPs. I feel like we're a little bit stuck in like sequel and remake town right now. I'd kind of like to see some new stuff, like especially for the Switch, because I think we're getting to that point where, you know, they're getting out the Smash Brothers, the Zelda's out, the Mario Odyssey's out. Like, I kind of want to see like what else they're going to do with the system, seeing as they're pretty adamant it's kind of going to be a replacement for their home console and like the DS's combined. I'd really like to see them kind of with a bit of a wider array of stuff for the Switch.
Oh yeah, another thing on the Switch. I want to see Metroid Prime 4 gameplay. I want to see how it looked before I decide to get it.
Yeah.
That's coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see. I don't currently have an Xbox One, so maybe this will be the year Microsoft persuades me. I don't know. I'd like to see maybe some new Sony IPs. I think they're going to be banking a lot on the Last of Us 2 footage, which I am not excited for particularly. So.
I mean, Sucker Punch's new game, Ghost of Tsushima, actually looks kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Ninja game.
I don't know. I'm just curious to see what comes out of each of the shows.
Yeah.
There's nothing especially I'm like hoping for. It's not like pretty much every other, excluding last year. It's not like every other E3 where I was sat there from 2007, 2008, going, "Is the Last Guardian coming? Is the Last Guardian coming?" So, like, it's not one of those years. It's one of those kind of we'll wait and see. Yeah, there's nothing I'm.
And then Last Guardian came and it was not satisfying.
I've been into this before. Mine is still sealed in a box. I will take it out at some point. I went through a shit show trying to get that game, trying to get my collector's edition, and afterwards I was so salty I just never took it out the box.
You know, I feel like, speaking of E3, one thing I was saying, like, when I got cut off, unfortunately, was I think one of the games that's gonna kill a company is BioWare's Anthem.
Yeah. Oh man.
Like, you make RPG company, right?
Yeah, BioWare.
RPG company.
BioWare is perhaps the biggest CRPG company on this side of the world, just alongside people like Bethesda and Obsidian. And oh man, I personally never was a huge fan of BioWare's work, but I can respect it, honestly.
They made the Mass Effect series, and then they messed it up in Andromeda. And I feel like Anthem is probably gonna be the end of them.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be really disappointing if that's the case. And yeah, because EA just how many companies has EA killed so far?
Enough that I can't even count anymore.
Exactly. So that was mentioned before. Which company that you were mentioned? Yeah, I think earlier you were talking about like the company killers, but yeah, I feel like that's gonna kill BioWare, and we're probably gonna see more Anthem gameplay, and people are gonna be, this looks okay, but I'm not really gonna get it day one, so I feel like it's not gonna sell well.
Yeah, unless that game course corrects super hard, and that implies a fucking huge delay, which honestly wouldn't do any wonders for that game either. That game is just gonna I feel that game is gonna sink pretty hard. Because let's be real, who here wants another Destiny? I certainly don't.
I feel like I'm the only person like left on the internet that actually quite enjoys Destiny, but in my defense, just as someone who is casually into FPS games, because I suck at the vast majority of them, so I quite enjoy the PvE aspect of it.
Yeah.
I'm not a gotta have the DLC day one, gotta get on and do my weekly shit every week. It's very much like a pick up and play for me from time to time. Like, if I'm at a point where I can do end game content, sure, that's cool, that's fine. I did some of the original raids into, and they were really quite fun, actually, having, a pre-made team, and stuff. But I appreciate all the controversy around it and all the bullshit that they've gone through. It's just, I'm not into FPSs enough as a genre to really care. It's not something I'm considering, I put a lot of time into, so for me, the whole, XP issues and stuff, I was like, I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'm sure it very much affects the more hardcore player base, and that really sucks, but, for me, it doesn't really affect my experience of the game, so I just don't care. But no, that doesn't need to be more of that kind of thing, I think.
Yeah, I feel you.
I think it's enough, it's fine. I mean, that's the thing. It's fine. It's good. It's not fantastic. It's not amazing, and so that doesn't need to be more of it.
Yeah.
That one is enough. One franchise is enough.
And why would I even want to play Destiny when I have Warframe, really? But
why would I want to play Destiny or Anthem when I could just play Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 or something like that?
But yeah, as for me, I do echo your sentiment that we're not gonna see anything that interesting this E3, because let's be real here, we are on the latter half of this generation of consoles, at least on the main ones like PlayStation and Xbox, and so we're pretty much doing sequels and improving graphics up to the point that the PlayStation, that the consoles in general can't handle them that well anymore, and so we are next year probably is the year of the PlayStation 5, Xbox, whatever announcement. So
I'm curious. I don't know if they're gonna go down that route. I'm at the point where I'm thinking there's just gonna, because they've got PS4 Pro and stuff. I feel like everything. I wouldn't be surprised if the things they release from now is just some kind of, rather than marketing it as a whole new console, it's just some kind of continuation with better parts, PS Pro Plus. Do you know what I mean? I'd actually be quite surprised to see a PlayStation 5
I feel
anytime soon, because I still think they're trying to push the Pro sales.
I feel you, but at the same time, I've seen quite a bit of sentiment from some developers that they do want to move from this architecture at some point. So, yeah. We're in that lull period where we know what we're, for the most part, getting into, and
we're getting our 10 out of 10. We're getting our Citizen Kane of Game 2 with God of War. So
we're getting our games of the generation, which this year alone has had serious fucking candidates for it. Think about it. We had Monster Hunter World, Yakuza, That of Boy, Horizon. We're gonna have Red Dead Redemption 2. This year's game of the year alone is gonna be fucking hardcore.
And it's gonna be God of War because
American loves.
They don't like video games. They like talking stories and shit.
You fucking gringos! You ruined my fun.
Fuck no! No! Don't push that on me because y'all Europeans said y'all.
Oh, whoa! Hey!
Yeah, they said the reason they made God of War more story focused is because Europe didn't buy the games. So
first of all, the UK is in the point of piecing the fuck out of Europe, and second of all, I like hack and slash games, right? So don't you pin this shit on me.
No, I'm pinning it on you because y'all ruined it.
Nope.
Hey, we bought the video games, alright?
You're all gonna love Yakuza 6 and you're gonna like it, or you're gonna fucking feel my wrath. Alright,
oh no, what the heck's going on my server? What? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Alright, so moving along and going into the let's say give me a second here. Alright. 1, 2, 3, can you hear me? Alright,
yes.
So moving along and going into the actual conferences here, I sent you guys a little list of times and days for the conferences, and I'm gonna leave it on the description below as well for our listeners and viewers at home. So the first conference we are gonna have this year is on Saturday, June 9 at 11 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. We were gonna have Electronic Arts.
No, nothing's. Maybe a new Call of Doodle-Doo Battlefront 3.
The
usual crap we get from Electronic Arts.
Yeah,
And maybe did the Need for Speed game come out this year or last year? I don't even know.
Need for Speed. The new Need for Speed came out this year, and the reception to that was not positive. That franchise is probably franchise is probably gonna die for a couple of years, which I'm glad because honestly we don't need more Fast and the Furious simulators. We don't need them.
Burnout died so they can make Need for Speed into Burnout.
Hopefully. I need more.
No, I'm saying that's what they did.
I need more Burnout in my life. But yeah, I guess we didn't have that much to say about Electronic Arts. Next up at 1 p.m. Sunday, June 10th, Pacific Daylight Time, we have Microsoft.
Microsoft is gonna... They're gonna announce a lot of third-party games like last year. I'm calling it.
Yeah.
Maybe Gears 5 and maybe one thing that I saw on Reddit that may be possible, Crackdown 3. That's gonna be on Xbox Game Pass. I'm calling it here. Because, think about it, they've been really quiet about the development of it. They haven't released a release date yet, and this game should have been done by now, because remember they delayed it a lot. So I wouldn't be surprised if Crackdown 3 lands on Xbox Game Pass. So get Crackdown 3 for $10 and then realize it's crap, so good job Xbox. That's my predictions for it.
Yeah, I think Microsoft is done trying to convince people to buy their systems, because honestly, they lost this generation from the start. So, honestly,
I'll say this. Xbox does sell a lot of systems, mostly because of normies. They'll usually just go and they'll buy it just to get their Call of Duty taste, and that's about it.
But I feel that
they do fine.
But I feel that all the normies that wanted to buy Xbox One already have it. So again, I don't think they will try to sell any new systems. Maybe for the people that want to play at 4K, but yeah, mostly third party.
It's not even good 4K on the Xbox One X.
It's like they're normies are gonna buy the console and they're just doing it to get their Call of Duty itch. And I feel that what was it? And like they're just and they probably Microsoft doesn't need to sell any consoles, but it's just doesn't need to sell that much because they're just gonna buy because most people are probably just gonna buy the third-party games that Xbox is offering. And because like what was it? Third-party games, and I just feel like they won't go under, but they're gonna lose. They've been losing. I'm not sure if they've been losing money or not, but they've probably lost some trust with different developers. Like for example, with Platinum and with Scalebound and stuff like that. It's just kind of, and that almost killed Platinum until Nier Automata came out and helped bring them out and help them, yeah.
Yeah, and also, do keep in mind that Microsoft pretty much is a company that just operates on Europe and America. They lost on the Asian markets a long time ago. Like,
yeah,
they sell at most hundreds of units a month on Asian markets. So, yeah. Microsoft continues to be the American company with the American consoles, which means brown and gray military shooters and manly men, which I particularly don't care about.
Some people do, but I really don't. I actually like to play video games. Let's just say that.
Yeah. I don't want to be John Turok, dinosaur hunter.
I don't want to game where I hunt dinosaurs. I just don't want to do it in a gray environment and be walking all the time.
Yeah. Anything you got to say, Oni?
No. I pretty much feel the same. I had a 360 last generation. I haven't really. I barely touched it. Like there was the odd game I had, like The Last Remnant, Star Ocean, like that kind of stuff on the Xbox, but. I didn't buy it for Call of Duty and the Halos and all the first-person shooters which Microsoft seems to push and market themselves on. So like I said, I've yet to pick up an Xbone this generation. There's just nothing. I've not seen anything on it that particularly appeals to me or appeals to me enough to think it's worth investing in one. So maybe this will be the year they wow me, but. I'm not holding out hope.
Yeah, not much to say. I'm Crackdown 3, and I don't care. So next conference, the same day, Sunday, June 10th, at 6:30 p.m. PDT or Pacific Daylight Time, we have Bethesda.
Oh, Bethesda's gonna. They're gonna probably show off more of Rage 2. There might be a surprise announcement in there, like Elder Scrolls 6. I don't know. It's not gonna be Elder Scrolls 6. No, it's not Elder Scrolls because Todd Howard. They all sell Skyrim again to us.
This is probably the year of either Fallout spin-off or Elder Scrolls 6. Because
I would be really surprised if it's Elder Scrolls 6 because, they'll just sell Skyrim to us again.
I would like to see Elder Scrolls 6. I'm not sure if we will yet, but...
I'm leaning more towards Fallout spin-off, but if it's not Obsidian, honestly, I'm not gonna touch it because Bethesda has demonstrated to me that they just can't make a good Fallout game. 3 wasn't good, 4 was fucking boring, and
New Vegas wasn't too bad.
But that's not. But the thing is, that's not Bethesda. That's Obsidian.
Oh yeah, and Obsidian is owned by Did Ubisoft own them or what?
No, Obsidian is third party right now, and they just released Pillars of Eternity 2, which I'm looking forward to.
Okay.
But yeah, honestly, if it's not Obsidian, I'm not gonna bother with Fallout anymore because Bethesda Fallout, it just doesn't feel the same anymore. But yeah, Rage, or maybe this is the year of Rage 2 and just Rage 2.
We might get.
They might have something to surprise us.
Yeah. I would probably expect something along the lines of some Evil Within 2 DLC as well, or something. If that's not already a thing.
I wouldn't discard that.
Just say more. Like, I would just expect DLC for their current games. Probably Rage 2 based on the leaks, and then if we're lucky, an Elder Scrolls 6 or some kind of Fallout spin-off. But
Fallout.
I just can't say I'm too excited this year. I feel like it's going to be quite a vanilla E3. Like I don't think there's anything that's going to surprise us. I really, really hope there is something.
Also,
maybe DMC 5.
also maybe a teaser for Doom 2. Who knows?
That could be possible.
That could be possible, but I don't see it. Honestly, I don't see it that much this year because I feel they are gonna come with big guns this year. Watch as I'm proved wrong by them. Just watch. All right. Next day, Monday, June 11th at 10 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, we have Squeenix.
Squeenix is going to announce the release date of Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm guessing that Dragon Quest will get more, we'll get more info on that, and maybe near DLC, or maybe Yoko Taro is making a new game. I don't know.
Honestly, I feel this is the year of the darkness, heartless darkness, Kingdom Hearts 3 conference and nothing else.
And maybe like a one-sentence update on Final Fantasy VII Remake. Those are my guesses.
I could hope and pray for any kind of teaser of the new Final Fantasy 14 expansion, but I think they'll save that for FanFest next year.
Yeah, no,
when they like to 14 do it quite separate from like E3.
Yeah. Yeah, no, main
separate?
the next Final Fantasy 14 expansion, which honestly we are a long ways before that, so we're probably gonna get a tease, at FanFest next year, or the reveal, but yeah, not right now. We're just on the second. I think it's the second patch for this current Final Fantasy 14.
I mean, my hope would even to get like an inkling of a name now. Do you know what I mean? But it will be FanFest next year, and then I think it will come out the year after that. But yeah, no. Again, like all of me just want to say, I would like to just see a new IP from any of these people. It's gonna be Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VII, and Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider.
Shadow of the fall, of the rise, of the beginning, of the end, of the alpha, of the omega, of the Tomb Raider.
One day I'd love to. I'd love to
I'm
go.
Sorry, little animal. I didn't want to kill you. I'll kill everyone in this island.
I would.
That's Lara Croft's character now.
No, like I haven't. I want to try the games out really badly. I do. I haven't been able to touch them after what they did to Lara's character. A lot of people don't see it as a bad thing. They like a more realistic version, but to me, she was almost like the video game equivalent of like a superhero. Do you know what I mean? Like she wasn't supposed to be realistic. Like Batman does not have realistic proportions. Batman in the comics is like wedge as fuck. Like it's I liked her a little bit kind of over the top and goofy. I don't like this more kind of like, oh, she's human too kind of thing, because it just breaks who she's supposed to be as a character.
She's human, she says, as she murders an entire island of, well, pirates, but still they're fucking people, even if they are fucking psychopaths. That doesn't give her the right to genocide an entire island.
It's just stuff for me now. Like, I'm pretty sure there's an article that came out. This is word of mouth. Like, I haven't personally read it, but there was some article that came out the other day where I think it was the creator or someone on the dev team of Lara Croft said, like, oh yeah, like, Lara's signature weapon is the bow. And I was like, no, it's the dual pistols. Like, you can't just change it and say it's her signature weapon. It's not been that long. Do you know what I mean? Like, anyone who grew up kind of in the 90s and forward is going to see Lara Croft and see, like, the dual pistols as the thing. Like, it's that kind of change where they're trying so hard to, like, sweep the old Lara under the rug like she never existed. And to me, because of that, the new ones just feel so alien. Like, it doesn't feel like Tomb Raider to me. It feels like there was Tomb Raider, and then there was Uncharted, and now there's Uncharted with a woman. Like, it doesn't feel like they've kind of bounced off each other. It just feels like they've tried to push so far away from what Lara Croft was that it's not. You might as well have just renamed her and made her a new franchise. Like,
but only the new Lara Croft is a feminist icon. The older Lara Croft committed the fucking sin of being sexy and portrayed by Angelina Jolie. No, we can't have that. She is bad for our image. She has to be strong, an independent woman that need no man.
this hurts me.
Oh yeah, it hurts me too. Because she is an icon of the resentment that many people have towards each other nowadays.
But my problem with that, and even seeing it from that point of view, is that she's not. They've literally taken. They've taken, like, if you want to call it, like, sexy Lara, they've taken, like, sexy Lara and almost made her, like, catwalk model Lara. Like, they haven't done anything to address, like, the issues before was like, oh, well, someone who climbed wouldn't have that figure or wouldn't do that. And I'm like, someone who climbed also wouldn't be, like, stick thin. Like, she's not especially, like, she has some arm muscle, but she doesn't look like she climbs. You've just shrunk everything down a little bit. It's not. I mean, if you really want to go and do, like, feminist icon Lara, like, give her a bit more of, like, a beefy figure. Like, she actually climbs and she actually works out and she, like, I don't know. I just can't get through it in my head, and it's been really putting me off playing the games. And maybe I'm missing out on stuff. Some people have said yes. Some people have said absolutely no. You're not missing anything. And
I played the.
I was like, it's good.
I
was gonna say it's gonna be one of those things that like only I'll be able to decide for myself. Like, I grew up playing Tomb Raider. I've beaten every Tomb Raider game, like, except for the new ones. So it would just be something I'll have to see eventually when I get around to playing them. But honestly, like, it feels like they're doing everything to, like, push the old Lara fans away.
I haven't played the original Tomb Raider, but I did not like the new one. I tried the first, like, 2 hours of the new one. I just could not get into it, and I was just completely bored.
Yeah,
a lot of walking, a lot of quick time events, a lot of, all the not fun stuff in video games.
Yeah, honestly, Shadow of the Fall, of the Rise, of the Beginning, of the End, of the Alpha, of the Omega, of the Dawn, of the Twilight, of this Planet of the Apes, of the Lara, of the Tomb Raider. I'm not a person of. I was never that much of a fan of classic Tomb Raider, to be honest with you. But just new Lara, man. Like, they say she's more human, but then she goes and murders an entire island of. Alright, evil people, sure, but still murdering an entire fucking island. And honestly, the thing is, I feel that the problem they had with all Lara Croft was the fucking boobs, the fucking tits.
Yeah, I feel like everything.
That's the only problem
I feel like everything they've done has just been an excuse to, like, reduce the size of her tits. Which, honestly, if you're that. Like, I can understand not liking, being a female and seeing a lot of women in a lot of media always kind of portrayed the same way. But if you're that goddamn offended by a character having a pair of big tits, like, you shouldn't be consuming that type of media. And, yeah, people need to change with the times. There is a timeline of Lara, and she did progressively get more and more realistic looking. But I think they've pushed it to a point now where she doesn't. It's like the identity's gone. Like Lara to me could be anyone. Like, she could be grown-up Ellie from The Last of Us. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's lost. You don't look at her and associate her with everything that's been Tomb Raider for, like, decades. she just looks to me like really bland and really boring. And I feel like from what I've seen of gameplay that's kind of where her character writing's gone as well, where she used to be quite like peppy and spunky and fun, like very, very dry-witted and clever, but like I don't know. They make it hard for me to want to play the games. I can't say I'm looking forward to the stuff at E3.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the year of the darkness and maybe some more information about FF7 Remake, which I'm not particularly keen on because I never grew up with Final Fantasy VII, therefore I'm not a fan of it. You couldn't make me care less about Shadow of the Rise, of the Fall, of the Beginning, of the End, of the Alpha, of the Omega, of the Dawn, of the Twilight, of the Planet, of the Evil, of the Turn of the Millennium, of the Match of the Millennium, of the Rematch of the Millennium, of the Lara Croft, of the Guardian of Evil, of the Darkness, of the Darkness 2, of Rage, of Bethesda, of the Tomb Raider. Also, those titles are stupid. Fuck off. Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Fuck. Suck my dick. Moving on from Squeenix, we have at Tuesday, June 12th, 1 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, we have Ubisoft.
More Beyond Good and Evil 2 gameplay. Hopefully a new Rayman Origins game or like a port of something.
Yeah, something Rayman would be fun.
And Just Dance again. A new Skull and Bones gameplay. Probably a new Assassin's Creed.
There's always something Assassin's Creed.
Honestly, from that line.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Go ahead.
There might be whatchamacallit, that one Skyland, the No Man's Skylanders as I call it.
Oh god.
There might be more info on that, but yeah.
Honestly, of all that stuff, I am most curious about Skull and Bones because pirate game. It seems.
Yeah.
It at least seems interesting. So.
Hope it'll be more fun than Sea of Thieves was.
Sea of nothing. But yeah, anything else about the UB?
Nope.
Alright, moving off swiftly to same day at 3 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, we have the PC Gaming Show. Probably more... Nothing and gaming
show.
Nothing and gaming hardware, which I do hope they at least announce a better graphics card than the 1080 Ti, so that the fucking Bitcoin farmers can jump over to that and leave and finally reduce the prices of 1080 Ti's for the love of God.
PC Gaming Show is always boring. I tried watching it. I actually fell asleep during watching one of those conferences. It's so
I don't usually watch it, but no, I totally feel has it. I feel like since Bitcoin mining has become a thing, like not only of certain graphics cards shot up in prices, but like RAM has got so expensive. Like I just want to put another 8 gig in my computer, and it's gone up so much.
Thank you, Bitcoin. Fuck you, Bitcoin. Alright, moving swiftly to same day, Monday, June 11th at 6 p.m. PDT, we have the big cheese itself, Sony.
4 games. Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima, Spider-Man, and Last of Us Part 2. Third-party titles, maybe DMC5.
Maybe DMC5, maybe an announcement on it, maybe a status update on Shin Yakuza and Hokuto, hopefully.
I wouldn't get my hopes up that much.
No, I wouldn't either, but
they mostly announce it whenever.
I'd almost like even if it was in passing, you know how they just advertise some stuff through like second long trailers essentially. I would love the announcement for a Yakuza 3, 4, and 5 like HD remake box set. That would be my hope.
That would be nice. That would be nice if the Yakuza 3 version we get is not the United States one.
I just want a physical copy of Yakuza 5.
Well, yeah, that too.
Sony, please.
That too.
Sega,
that
please.
too, but that too, but yeah, I want the complete version of Yakuza 3. God damn it.
Yeah, Last of Us, Death Stranding. I am curious to see more of that game. Last of Us 2, I couldn't really care.
Yeah, I don't care about Ellen Page.
Like I'm excited for Spider-Man and the Sucker Punch game, and I'm just hoping after that I'm just hoping for third-party titles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to see some maybe a new IP or two from certain developers. Sony's usually quite good at delivering those, so I'd hope.
Maybe something about the Medieval remaster.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's happening.
Yeah,
Yeah, just that kind of stuff.
Hopefully.
I'd like to see.
Yeah, obviously the bulk of Japanese studios is gonna be on this conference because Sony is the one that has the Japanese studios.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be happy. I'll be happy with anything new from Sony that I get. I'd also quite like to see Devil May Cry 5 pop up.
Also, you know what?
Yeah.
FromSoft. It's
FromSoft.
time to see. It's time to
Yeah,
see.
oh yeah, what their
Oh yeah, the Shadow Dice
Yeah,
Twice
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
that'll be interesting.
I will die on this hill, but I will never not say that Shadow Dice Twice is a new Tenchu game. Because that phrase is a Tenchu staple that has been uttered, I wouldn't say ad nauseum, but it's an important phrase on the franchise. So my guess is that that game is a new entry into the Tenchu series. And also because I want to see those who are calling for Bloodborne 2 just getting fucking salt. I wanna see
Bloodborne 2.
Maximilian die on stage. But other than that, yeah, I hope it's Tenchu. Maybe something about the new Armored Core they are working on, and also hopefully nothing Souls. That company deserves a fucking rest from Souls.
Yeah.
Make a new Armored Core, god dang it.
No, they are making it, but they haven't released any details of it as of yet. We know that they are working on new Armored Core and Shadow Dice Twice, so.
Alright.
Hopefully it's Tenchu 2. Sorry, no, Tenchu 2 no. Hopefully it's another Tenchu. I want that salt. I want to bathe on that salt. Alright.
So Nintendo.
So the Nintendo video presentation is the last one we're gonna have. It's on Tuesday, June 12th, 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Probably it's gonna be Metroid Prime 4 and let me smash.
I'm guessing Smash, Metroid Prime, Pokemon, and what else? Something else that it was only given glimpses at last. Maybe. Oh yeah. Oh wait, no. The new Kirby game already came out. I completely forgot about that. LOL.
I don't know, man. I feel it's too soon for Pokemon.
I'm pretty sure after a year they'll want to see it, and since Ultra Sun and Moon already came out, they gotta show something. They have to have their obligatory Pokemon game come out every year, whether it be Pokken or
Probably. Also, hopefully, a port of Wonderful 101 to the Switch. That's the
what?
Wonderful 101.
Oh, Wonderful 101. Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Gamiya's been wanting to do that for a while, apparently.
Yeah, and that game deserves better than it got. It was released on a shitty platform that was shit. And maybe with the same treatment that other titles like Mario Kart 8 and Donkey Kong Country Returns Tropical Freeze got, maybe it will sell better than what it got initially on the shitty console that was shit.
Yeah.
Probably, maybe also some 3DS details because the 3DS somehow is still alive. And I wouldn't bank on this 100%, but I would say something about SMT5. Maybe another trailer or something.
Maybe. It all depends on if Atlas US wants to translate it, because remember Atlas does do their own announcements. Maybe actually, the more I think about it, if it's more possible, it probably could be a Persona Q2. Like, since Atlas, I think, is gonna be releasing more information for Persona Q2 sometime soon. So they're either gonna wait for E3 or just gonna do it by themselves, because that's what Atlas usually does.
Yeah.
They'll do like it for their events or whatever.
Yeah, although SMT5 was announced on a Nintendo Direct, so that's
No, it was announced on the It was announced at the Nintendo Switch presentation. SMT5 was announced, like the official title was announced on a. It was announced on a stream, on a live stream, where they're like, "Hey, we're gonna be revealing the next game. Okay, SMT1, SMT2, SMT3, SMT this, SMT, Strange Journey. Okay, here's SMT5. LOL." They did that. They did that whole thing for SMT5.
hopefully.
Source, I was there.
Hopefully, but yeah, the Nintendo Switch is going strong nowadays, and I feel that it's gonna be this year is gonna be maybe not as strong as last year because Zelda and Mario already came out, so that's those two gone. But who knows? Maybe some neat surprises. Always holding hope for another F-Zero. which requires Miyamoto to die of a heart attack, but if that's the sacrifice I have to make, so be it. But yeah, anything else about Nintendo?
No, I think we've covered everything that will pop up. Just like I was saying earlier, my dream would be, I guess, to see some of these more interesting JRPGs or kind of visual novel-esque puzzle games that used to crop up all the time on the DS, seeing as they're kind of pushing this to be the one main system. I'd kind of like to see them actually kind of pushing some games that normally would come out on DS if they're really thinking this is going to be the one main system, because it would urge me to get my own one. I've been pinching my boyfriends for the last year. Every time I want to play something, I haven't bothered to get my own because it's been quite rare. So I'd like to see some real incentive for me to get one, because they're thinking about moving Pokemon and stuff over. I want to see some other stuff start being integrated into the Switch. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Probably, I wouldn't hold out hope for a very interesting E3 overall. We are in the latter half of the generation, and we are running towards new consoles pretty soon. So, let's hope for something nice, but don't elevate your expectations so high.
No, they're set low. These are my dreams.
Yeah. And with that said, we are gonna move into the last part of the podcast. Sorry, I had a little bit of a hiccup there. We are gonna go to the wrap up. See you there. To the last section of the podcast, the wrap-up, where we just pretty much wrap it up and go our way home. But before we go, let's plug our stuff, shall we? First, starting with Sunny Cake. What do you have coming down the pipeline?
Maybe a video, I don't know. You can find me on youtube.com/SonicKick, twitter.com/SonicKick_, and twitch.tv/SonicKick. So it's maybe a video, I'm not sure, but it's coming. Excuse me.
No problems. Oni, anything you have coming down the pipeline as well?
I got some YouTube scripts in the work on my channel. I tend to do longer, like more analytical videos. I have a couple in the works on some animated films that I really like. I have a couple in the works for some video games, mostly at the moment focusing around like super nostalgic stuff. So hopefully I'll get them done soon. I'm looking, honestly, on just kind of compiling a little bit of a backlog before I start posting. That way, if I do get stuck out in the future, I always have something to stick up. But you can find me on youtube.com, oni_senpai, twitter.com, oni_senpai, and twitch.tv, oni_sama_.
Yep.
I'll be back to streaming next week. We do Yakuza on Saturdays. And something different in the week. We're currently playing Root Letter, which is a kind of murder mystery Japanese visual novel. It's quite fun. Quite a fun little game.
Alright, so as for me, you can find me on social media at hazard_Kujacker on Twitter. You can find me on this very YouTube channel at youtube.com/hazard_Kujacker. I don't know yet, maybe my channel link hasn't changed yet, who knows. Coming down the pipeline right now, I have this very podcast, I guess, which is gonna be monthly, yeah, that's mainly because I'm a lazy son of a bitch. Coming up as well, I have the video of Yakuza 6, my thoughts on it. What did I think about it? What did I like? What did I not like? It's gonna be awesome, hopefully. And after that, probably Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories as well for next month. Well, not the month after Yakuza 6, obviously. But yeah, that's pretty much it right now. There's nothing that much else interesting. But thank you very much for listening to this very first edition of the Hazard Kujacker's Power Hour. On behalf of my co-hosts Oni and SonicKick, I am Hazard Kujacker, and I'll catch you later.